Hi everyone! Here we have more exercises on different situations that have different forces. In this figure, we have a skier. The forces acting on the skier are the weight, which is downwards, and you should guess the other two forces. Look at the list on the right and identify the forces acting on the skier. So we have the frictional force opposing the skier's motion, and the upward force is the reaction force. Recall that the frictional force is one of the forces that oppose motion. For example, the force between two surfaces and the force on an object moving through a gas or liquid fluid is the drag or air resistance, and the reaction is the force between two bodies in contact. Now let's proceed to a different situation. Identify the forces in this figure. So the force here is the electrostatic force. We identify the electrostatic force by the force between charges. Let's proceed. In this situation, we have two permanent magnets and a loop. This loop is rotating clockwise due to the magnetic and frictional forces as indicated here. The upward force is the magnetic force, and the downward force is the frictional force. What are the two different forces acting on the other side? Well, since the magnetic force is acting upwards, this means that the loop is rotating clockwise. So if we follow the rotation, we will notice that the downward force here is the magnetic force. Consequently, the upward force, which is the force that opposes the motion, will be the frictional force. Recall that the magnetic force is the force produced by a permanent magnet or electromagnet that can affect a magnetic material or an electric current. The frictional force as well is one of the forces that cause motion.